Well, would you look at that? It took less than 7 months for the newest episode of Confirmed Info to come out after the previous one. I think I'm finally doing something right after all. Anyways, in today's episode of Confirmed Info, I want to talk about the 10th generation of consoles. After having talked about the 9th generation of consoles over 2 years ago, I think it's only right that I now talk about the next generation after that. Sure, we're barely into the 9th generation, if you can count the Switch as a 9th gen system, or is it an 8th gen system? Is it an in-between? Is it mid? Is it mid-gen? I don't fucking know. It's Nintendo, it really doesn't matter to them. If it's a console, and that's what counts for them. Anyways, I'm gonna get the fuck into it. Now, kicking things off with the Xbox 3. You know, because Xbox One, Xbox 2 for the 9th gen, and now Xbox 3 for the 10th gen. Get it? Listen, I'm not creative enough with these names, okay? Fucking leave me alone. Anyways, this next generation could go off into two completely different directions. The first one being a traditional console. For dumbasses out there that don't remember or don't know, at E3 2018, Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, confirmed that there will be a next generation Xbox. So, the X is not the last console to exist. Fucking lovely. But seeing as this means that there's going to be a 9th gen console, this could mean a 10th gen console. Now, first things first, the code name for the console is the Phil Spencer box. It'll be shaped just like Phil Spencer's hair, and there's a good chance that they're going to replace Cortana with Phil Spencer for all voice commands for this console, including Windows 11. And every time you load up a game such as Halo or Gears of War, you're going to hear the iconic exclusive. And it'll be louder than any Xbox presentation could ever be. The console's UI will also change at least 3 times a year, meaning that after finally getting used to the console's UI after 3 months, Microsoft decides to change it up into something even worse than the last UI. They feel this is the best way to stay innovative and fresh with Xbox in the future, so this is gonna happen whether you like it or not. Personally, Microsoft feels that they have the courage to bring change and evolution even when you don't like it. If you don't like those changes, then you can kindly go suck on Cortana's Fuda cock. Also, Minecraft and HoloLens are mandatory downloads, so even if you're not interested in either one, you still gotta have it anyways, or you will be shot. And then your existence will be erased by the Microsoft Illuminati. In Xbox we trust. But that's all the information about the console side of things. Let's talk about the second possible scenario. Xbox everywhere. So after how successful Xbox being on every single fucking platform was, Microsoft felt that the next necessary step was to have a brand new platform. Xbox everywhere. Meaning that everywhere you go, everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, is Xbox. Your console, your phone, your porn videos, whatever the case may be. Even if you don't want it to be there, it'll be there. Just like updates for Windows 10. Even if you don't want it, it's still gonna happen no matter what. And the Windows Store will be just as fucking trash as it is now. So get excited for Xbox everywhere. For it'll be there, even when you don't want it to be.
Ha! Hell yeah! I sure do love playing mobile games on my phone. Huh? Xbox? Ew! I don't even like Xbox! How did this get on here? Fuck off!
Xbox.
Huh?
Xbox.
Who the hell are you guys?
Xbox.
What do you want from me?
Xbox.
No! I'm sorry,
Xbox.
please! Leave me alone!
Xbox.
Please!
Xbox.
No!
Xbox. 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 But yeah, all in all, that's all there is to know about Xbox so far. On to PlayStation. Now, with PlayStation, you can expect this 10th gen system to be called the PlayStation 6. In other words, the worst name you could ever choose for a console, because everyone knows that 6 is a lame number, which is why nobody likes it, nor ever will. To sum things up, the UI is gonna be just as awful as the PlayStation 3 and 4's. So if you already fucking hated the UIs for the PlayStation 3 and 4, then expect no different for the PlayStation 6. There's also a good chance that there's gonna be at least 40 exclusives each month. So if you already love all of the exclusives coming out for the PlayStation 4, then just wait until the PlayStation 6. It's only gonna get bigger, better, and very oversaturated. But it's PlayStation, so our fans will eat up anything that we put out. Even if it's a piece of shit, they'll still pay $60 for it. There's also a 50% chance of it having crossplay, so if you're hoping for crossplay, then Sony will come back to you about that later. You know, they still gotta think about it. And finally, the last thing to know about the PlayStation 6 is that it'll still have just as shitty of an online network as all their previous consoles. So even when you're paying for, eventually, the $100 required dollars to play online, the service and quality is still gonna be just as awful as it is now. But all in all, that's all there is to know about the PlayStation 6. But with all that being said, let's finally move on to the next and final console, Nintendo's. So after the success of the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch Pro, the Nintendo Switch 2, and the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro, Nintendo has decided to build upon the idea of playing a game anywhere on the go or traditionally at home with a brand new way to play games. Instead of having a console to play games on, Nintendo has decided that for the 10th gen, or is it the mid-gen, who the fuck knows, they've decided that you will be the console, which means you can play with yourself at home, traditionally, or anywhere on the go, without being embarrassed. Basically, for this console to work, what Nintendo's gonna do is send Reggie fils-aime to your house personally to install a chip in your brain, allowing you, yes, you, access to the Nintendo library. From the 80s to now, you can play Nintendo games with yourself, which means that once this brand new system comes to life, you can play with yourself as well as your Nintendo games at home or anywhere on the go. Even if you don't want this to be the case, it's still gonna happen no matter what. And with the power of crossplay between Nintendo and Microsoft, both will work together to create the future of gaming, Reggie X. With the power of Microsoft and with the power of Nintendo working together, they can finally have total world domination, finally defeating PlayStation in the process for being a bunch of fucking assholes who doesn't want to work together with their competitors for pro-consumer practices. And once this finally happens, Nintendo and Microsoft will finally rule the world, then the galaxy, then the universe. And so, for the distant future, everywhere you go is Phil Spencer and Reggie fils-aime, whether you want it or not, and nothing will ever change that. And yeah, that's all there is to know about the next generation systems. I wasn't bullshitting at all with anything that I said in this video. Trust me, everything that I just talked about is totally gonna happen. Anyone who doubts me is fucking stupid. Yeah. Get roasted, bitch. But all in all, that's the 10th generation. You probably hated this video, but if you didn't for whatever reason, then make sure to like it, comment, subscribe, follow me on my social medias, and it's been a while since I've talked about this at the end of a video, but make sure to also subscribe to the second channel, Pointless Nonsense, for all sorts of other side content that is just as worse or even worse than the content on this channel. But all in all, that's it. I'll see you all next time. But until then, I'm out. Peace, you fucking bastards.